I am really glad I caught this before we started actually getting into shit. My recording software was not picking up you at all until just now.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Damn. That's kind of that kind of sucks. I thought we had really I thought that was good.
I was gonna use most of that as the intro, but oh well.
Oh well. Well, you know, for the people that are just tuning into this edited version of it, we were just bitching about the fact that the WWE has just gone completely downhill, and you know, again, like literally, this is from their quote: under 6 foot and older than 30. They don't want you if you're under 6 foot and older than 30.
Another thing I don't get, which I mean, if you believe Dave Meltzer, I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. But I don't believe Dave Meltzer personally, but they're trying to work out this new contract with Adam Cole, and like supposedly pulling out all the stops to make it happen, and then they release Bobby Fish.
Yeah. Well, like here's the thing to me that like
I get it. Like I do understand why they released him. He has been hurt a lot.
Yes, he has.
But you're trying to work out this deal with Cole that it definitely seems like they want to keep him desperately. What the fuck are you doing? And like releasing Tyler Breeze too. Dude,
like my and I think what's funny too, if you watch Up Down Down from the week that Tyler Breeze was released, all his buddies on Up Down Down are like, our boy is free, he's finally free.
Yeah.
Like they're not even trying to hide it.
No.
And
I'm you know, I'm not a fucking pro wrestler, but it genuinely seems like WWE is just a miserable place to work right now.
And if you are an NXT talent who, let's say you're one of those guys who's been in NXT, let's say you're a Pete Dunne, who's another guy whose contract is rumored to be coming up. Why would you stay? Like,
dude, I fucking
the whole reason that guys would stay and suffer in WWE was because of job security. Yep. Because they would know, no matter what, I'm good. As long as I show up, I just do whatever the fuck they tell me to do, I'm gonna be good.
Unless my name is Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, or Drew McIntyre, I don't feel good about being there right now.
No, I don't either. I'm terrified.
Orton.
Yeah, or Randy Orton. But like, I don't think anybody else outside of the absolute top of the top of the top of the top is safe right now.
I don't even think Bobby Lashley's safe. Like, I could 100% see him losing at fucking SummerSlam and then getting released like a week later.
I would not be shocked one bit. And like you said, it was earlier when we were talking before we started recording, you know, this is the kind of behavior of a company that's going to sell. But like, you only do that to an extent. Like, you're selling off every one of your major assets.
Right. You trim the fat, but keep the guys that matter, but you're trimming the guys that matter at the same time. So I just don't.
And like, even whenever they released Braun didn't. I mean, it surprised me, but Braun didn't shock me.
He's because not moving I've the needle much.
No, even whenever he got that short world title run and the Goldberg quote unquote main event, I never viewed that as like this was a great option. This was really what we wanted. It was just like all right, you're who we have here.
It was Goldberg was dropping the title regardless, but Roman backed out.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it was. Like, ever since then, Braun has basically just been the full-time jobber, the jobber to the main event.
Yeah.
But Bray is another level. Bray is where I'm like, where Bray is where I start to lose the logic of whatever the fuck they're planning.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's honestly sad to see what's happening with them right now. You know, especially when here in a couple minutes, we're going to be comparing it to a show that I thoroughly enjoyed and I thought was fucking great and was plenty of was, you know, a lot of the reasons why pro wrestling is good. But yeah, it's sad.
It makes no sense. Welcome to the Spotcast, for one.
Welcome to the Spotcast.
This is going to be a weird splicing because I don't know how to fucking use technology and missed like every bit of Alex talking on my end. So it's just going to like jump in probably with me saying I haven't been recording you for the past 5 minutes. But yeah, we're back. We took a couple weeks off.
Like a week and a half.
2 weeks off. We had some real life busted our ass.
Yeah.
Had some scheduling issues and shit, but we're back. I guess we'll have 2 episodes up this week to make up for that, and then we'll be back on track for the most part. My plans for August have kind of fallen apart, so but we got 2 episodes this week. The first one, of course, as we talked about in the last episode that came out 3.5 years ago, is WWF In Your House, Revenge of the Taker. In Your House 15? I don't remember. I don't even remember them numbering these In Your Houses.
I don't either. I think that had to have been a retroactive thing. It's In Your House 14 or Revenge of the Taker.
Well,
but yeah, I think
so. During the broadcast of Revenge of the Taker, they show an ad for what would end up being In Your House, A Cold Day in Hell, and they referred to it as like In Your House 16 or whatever number it was because it didn't have a name yet. And I swear I never remember that being a thing.
Huh. I was I this is kind of like morbid, but part of me was like, had Owen Hart died yet? Did they maybe just like delete that one? But no, that didn't happen until '99.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
I don't know. I mean, it's the same reason as why the Wikipedia says that there was an attendance of 11,477 and everywhere else says 6,477.
Yeah, so this show is really confusing. Some of these older WWF shows might be a little weird. I don't know. We're in like a really weird time span for the WWF. So this is our first like actual dose of the World Wrestling Federation on this podcast. We are pre Austin breaking his neck.
Mm-hmm.
We are pre Screwjob.
Yep.
We are pre Rock, pre Triple H. We are almost to DX. Like we are very close to DX.
Yeah.
It's a weird time. But
it is. It's kind of it's a little bit of a transitional period because I would say that the Attitude Era had started, but it was still in its very beginning phases.
It's in its infancy right now. It hasn't kicked into full gear yet.
And you can see that when you kind of look at the match card because you got, you know, at the top end, Taker and Mankind and Stone Cold versus Bret Hart, you know, 4 guys who were a huge part of that Attitude Era. But then you see right before those two, you've still got these dumbass matches filled with shitty gimmicks like Jesse James versus the Rockabilly.
Yeah. And Rocky Maivia. And it's really... it's cool to see, but at the same time, like as you're watching it, you're like, man, I wish this was 98 or 99 already.
It's like if we just jump forward like 6 months,
yeah,
it gets even better. Yeah. Which I'm not gonna actually bitch about this show because I bitched so much about the last one that by comparison, this was one of the best shows I've ever watched.
Yeah, and this was like an actually like pretty good show. There's only like there's 5 matches on the card, so 2 of them I didn't really care for. That's better than not liking any of them.
No, absolutely. And so just kind of start setting the scene for us here. This is, like you said, we're at Revenge of the Taker. In Your House 14 is what the DVD cover says.
Okay.
So In Your House 14, Rochester, New York. Sam, what venue are we at?
We are at the Rochester Community War Memorial in Rochester, New York. I fucking nailed it.
There you go. Goddamn.
Uh,
Before we started recording, Sam was he tried to say it about 6 times, and every single time something else came out.
so there's 120,000 pay-per-view buys, which is like that's pretty decent. Again, not entirely it's kind of weird on what the actual attendance for the show was. I've got 6,477 sellout. You have like 11,477 sellout.
Yeah, again, the Wikipedia says 11,000. I'm gonna lean towards that 6,000 number though.
Yeah.
Just because if you kind of think about it, like for them to sell out a more than 10,000 seat arena for an in your house pay per view, like I get that. Actually, no. WrestleMania being the month before really makes me not want to go to it because it's like, what the fuck is going to happen?
Yeah,
like
because
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania had 18,000. Canadian Stampede has 12,000. SummerSlam's 20,000. All the in your houses are between like close to 5,000 up to like 7,000 occasionally. So this 6,000 attendance seems accurate, but the gate is super low. A gate of $87,414.
Which that does blow my mind. So let me do some quick math here real quick. You said it was 80. The gate was 87,000.
$87,414.
So that would mean that each ticket was on average $13.
Which
I mean,
that's pretty accurate.
Even for 97 for a pay-per-view, I would think it would be at least like 20.
I mean, you could go to WCW shows for like $10-11 around the same time. So I mean, it's pretty.
That's because Eric Bischoff is a cheap bitch. So.
Well, yeah.
No, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but yeah, this just seems like a really low gate.
Yeah. We get the show, the programming starts, and we get this really like weird opening package.
Yeah.
It was so strange.
I think it was a great promo package. It was very fucking 90s. And it was featuring mainly Mankind and the Undertaker, but also it circled a little bit of the Stone Cold, Bret Hart storyline as well.
Yeah, this is very much focused around Taker and Mankind, and I think actually I'm gonna hold that. We'll get to it once we get to the Taker Mankind match, because there's a lot happening with this feud right now.
There is there's a lot, and it's leading to a lot more here soon.
Oh yeah. But let's jump into the fucking first match. Unless you got anything else to say.
No. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Let's do it.
Let's go.
We start off like we said with a great promo package. Really fucking weird, but it got me hyped up. Kicking off the program with Legion of Doom versus Owen Hart and British Bulldog for the tag team championships. Owen Hart and British Bulldog are the tag team champions right now.
Yep.
So kind of set the scene. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead and say what you're going to say, because it might be the same thing I was about to say.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, LOD got slapped by Big Billy Bitch somebody. LOD then got beat by the Godwins at Raw, and so they're probably going to win here. JR, King, and Vinnie Mac are on commentary.
So here's a little story synopsis for this feud, because I watch all the Raws leading up to the shows, so I know a little bit more about what's going on with the WWF shows than I do the WCW shows. I don't like watching Nitro. I'm sorry. I just can't do it to myself.
I don't blame you.
So this feud, Owen and Bulldog there was a lot of like jealousy on Owen's part with Bulldog being European champion. They split up 1 week. The next week they had a match for the European title that just kind of stopped because Bret Hart came out and like reformed the Hart Foundation. The week following that, I can't remember if it was Owen and Bulldog or LOD that had a match with the Godwins. It's one of the funniest things ever. If you can go find it on YouTube, it's so fucking funny.
It was LOD. LOD got beat by the Godwins on Raw.
Well, after the match, the Godwins go to throw this bucket of pig slop on Owen and Bulldog, but Owen and Bulldog move and it hits LOD. And then later on in the show, Bulldog and Owen rewatched the replay of them getting slopped. I swear to God, like 7 fucking times. It's hilarious. It's fucking great.
This is such good shit.
It was so funny. Before the match starts, I texted you when I watched this, and I don't know if you remember now because it has been like a week or two. There is something very, very morbid about this match. And did you ever figure out what it is?
I don't know if I remember. Tell me at the end of the recap of the recap for the match, though.
Okay. Well, first off, the In Your House sets are sweet. They're awesome. So LOD comes out, and I'm sitting every time LOD works a match in WWF. I'm like, why don't they just fucking call them the Road Warriors? Well, Fink just calls them Road Warrior Hawk and Road Warrior Animal anyway. So like, what are we even doing right now?
Yeah, no, they King pretty much ignores it. I will say right off the bat, 2 things that immediately draw me in more to this than the WCW pay-per-views. The second the match got going, they stopped talking about the fucking main event. And JR, King, and Vince McMahon are a great commentary trio. Yeah. They are so good together.
At one point, we get a shot of the commentary table, and there is a fucking infant being held right behind the commentary table. Like, this kid is like, I swear to God, probably not older than 6 months. It'll be on the screen. That kid is fucking way too young to be there.
At a fucking WWF show in '97.
Yes. Owen and Bulldog come out, and at some point Jerry Lawler says something about the Slammy Award winners lounge at Dunkin' Donuts, and I just fucking that was so funny to me.
I have that written here too. You know that gives you use of any Slammy lounge at every Dunkin' Donuts. I lost my shit. Oh, dude,
it's so funny.
Like the way that he just. The way that he dryly says this stuff, and the way that JR and Vince don't sell it at all, they just say nothing.
No, not even the slightest.
You know they probably sit there like muting their mics, trying not to lose their goddamn mind. Yep. But so they come out. Bulldog is jacked to shit, and European champion. Owen comes out with his slammies. Start off, Animal is stomping down Owen. Big shoulder block off the rope. Owen fires back for a front face lock, reverse into a slam by Animal. Bulldog is tagged in. Double team by LOD as Hawk comes in. Hawk with a devastating slap to the chest. It was loud as hell.
He hit multiple.
He hit multiple chest slaps that it sounds like it just ripped him. But Bulldog fires back with a really nice delayed vertical suplex. Animal back in. He's got one of the best scoop power slams ever. Like, it's so crisp, and he gets such a high angle on it. It looks so good.
Yep.
Cut to the back really quickly as Stone Cold is arriving. Animal lifts and slams Owen by
Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Stone Cold! Okay.
As Animal lifts and slams Owen by his hair. Top rope splash after the tag to Hawk. Owen gets a nice reversal to take the heat off and tags in Bulldog. This starts, and this to me looks like we're about to start the first of LOD's mini reigns. At one point, at one point they were making fun of Oklahoma, and King then asked JR, "Y'all only have farmers. Is that why you started pharmacy in school?" This is one of the only reactions you got out of JR, and he just sits there for about 2 seconds. He goes, "Shut the hell up." I lost my shit. I lost my shit at that too. Animal reverses a Bulldog to get the hot tag. Reverses Bulldog to get the hot tag. Bulldog is up for the Avalanche Power Slam.
So
sweet. So LOD seemingly beats the Hart Foundation as the new tag champs. So before we continue with this, what did you give it? Here comes Mike Chioda. But what would you have given the match at this point?
I honestly, what I gave the full match, I hate to give away my actual rating before we actually get to the end of the actual match, but like a 3 out of 5. Like, it was a solid match.
So I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Not because there was anything wrong with it, but just because it didn't blow me away. But I enjoyed it. Right. But that is going to change. So, however, there's a dispute with the final tag. Evidently, they pinned the illegal man, so this match must continue. First, the Hart Foundation isn't like wanting to get back in the ring, and they announce they don't get back into the ring by the count of 10. They lose the titles.
Who
Back
the
in the
fuck does
ring.
that ref think he is?
That's what I'm wondering.
He
Like,
can't
he's
just
just
change-
making decisions like this.
Yeah, you can't just change the champion's advantage rules like that on the fly.
Like, I would have flicked him off and walked to the back. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Come get him,
fuck
bitch.
you. I'll just go fucking to the commentary table and tell the boss to fucking fire your ass, idiot. You're fucking breaking the rules.
Shh, they don't know that he's the boss yet.
Oh, they kind of do.
No,
they kind of do. They kind of do at this point. They kind of do.
They hint at it. They allude
Right.
to it. I feel like it's not. You don't really get Vince McMahon, and I refer to him as Vinnie Mac up until the screw job. That's when he becomes Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
But so they get back in the ring, and everyone starts wailing on each other. Commentary was completely limiting the end of this match, saying it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. JR at one point says, "I don't think this referee went to school on scholarship. He was a walk-on." I lost my shit.
Yeah. JR had so many good singers here. They keep saying they're looking for a replay, but it honestly just makes this feel like really janky. Animal gets a sunset flip on Bulldog, but the ref is distracted. Owen is up for the diving headbutt, but nobody's home as Hawk comes in and clears house. Owen is up for the Doomsday Device, but the ref isn't counting for some reason. And then
the
Bret
ref
Hart
has to kill so much time telling Animal to get out of the ring because Bret was so late on his run-in.
And then Bret interferes, and so LED wins via DQ. This took it down to a 1.5.
Really?
For me, I was really, really, really disappointed by the ending of this match.
I don't usually like finishes like that, but with the way the story is going with Hart Foundation, like I thought it worked.
I think it was just the sloppiness of it too that really got me. It was one, I felt like, even though, like I said, I only gave it a 2.5 out of 5 to begin with, but that wasn't a bad 2.5 out of 5. That was like a very good 2.5 out of 5.
Right.
But just like, I don't know. One, you got the crowd hot. They wanted the Road Warrior victory. I know you can't always give the crowd what they want, but just the honestly, if Bret hadn't been so fucking late, I probably would have kept it at a 2. But Bret being as late as he was just really ruined it for me because I was like, oh, okay, that was bad. But even though I only gave it a 1.5 out of 5, I enjoyed the match.
Yeah.
I was not upset at the match.
It's a great way to open the show.
Yeah, it was. It got it.
Don't understand how you can be late on your run-in when you're like 100% standing at Gorilla waiting for your cue, and there's like at least 5 people back there to also help you get to your cue.
Yeah, that he must have just been fucking around or doing something else. Yeah, I was not happy about that part of it. But outside of that, I really did enjoy the match. And we still got to see the Doomsday Device at the end of the match, so everyone was happy there. Yeah. I want to go ahead and take the time to say that I appreciate the WWF's hotline ads much more because they make it explicitly clear that if you're under 18, you're going to piss your parents off.
Yeah.
They say that like repeatedly. I don't even remember. Oh, was it Mark Miro and his
This
girlfriend?
One was Brian Pillman and Sonny.
That's what it was.
They are 100% fucking as soon as that camera cuts off.
Absolutely. I mean, you can already hear it in Brian's voice. He's like, "Oh goddamn, we're gonna get out of here, and you're gonna call the fucking hotline, and you're gonna hear me banging the shit out of this woman." I had forgot. It's been such a long time since I've watched anything with Brian Pillman in it. I'd forgotten how fucking goofy his voice is, and I was like, "How did we take this guy seriously when he had a gun?"
That segment made me like so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. Oh man. It's. Are we past that already? Or are we not there yet?
Oh no. I'm talking about the Pillman Sonny segment made me really uncomfortable.
Oh, I know. We were just eye fucking the whole time.
When did the Pillman Austin thing happen? I think that's already passed. I think we missed it by just a little bit.
Damn. Oh man,
I'm looking it up.
I love that.
You can go ahead and start the next match. I'll look it up. Oh yeah, we missed it. It was in November of '96.
Damn. Well, sorry, folks. You're not going to hear us talk about Brian Pillman pulling a gun.
Yeah, nobody's ever heard of that.
No one's ever heard of that. Look, so don't Google it. Savio Vega versus Rocky Maivia. IC title is up next. First off, Nation Domination's theme is a fucking banger.
Oh, dude, that is fucking hilarious because I have the exact opposite. My first note is this rap entrance for the Nation fucking sucks.
I love the Nation Domination. It's the Nation of Domination. Oh, I love it.
See, the
I
theme
love
itself is fine, but the rapping with it is fucking atrocious.
That's fair. I mean, I wasn't listening to the rapping for like anything quality.
No, so bad.
I loved it.
It was an omen for this match.
It was an omen for this match because this was a dog shit match. Honestly, this was the worst match on the card. No.
This is not the worst match on the card.
We're not there. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. Vince calls Farouk Mr. Farouk, which also makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, Mr. Farouk. Like, do you think it's because he like that's just how he talks to Farouk when he's fucking Linda? Like, he's like, Mr. Farouk, can I get you a drink or anything? Maybe some crackers.
Yes, that is exactly what happens.
That's exactly how I imagine it going down. You're looking dehydrated there, pal. You're sweating a lot.
Oh my god. Oh man. So wow. Okay, to collect myself here. I don't have much for this match.
I've got a good little run through here.
What I will say is, for the entirety of this match, the crowd is completely dead silent.
Yeah, there was nothing going on, which was kind of surprising because they were pretty loud for the opener. Actually, it's not surprising that Rocky and Vega didn't give them a lot to cheer on.
No.
So last week, Vega won against Rocky by pulling the tights to get this match. Rocky doesn't even take the belt off before he attacks. I don't know why, but I thought that looked really cool. I was like, I wish more people would do that. He has, at this point in time, Rock is still very green, but he has such a nice arm drag. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Farouk comes down to the ring in a sling. This is when he gets onto commentary. After Rocky hits a couple arm drags, Vega comes back, but then Rock hits a leapfrog and another pair of arm drags. Nation of Domination, Farouk should have been a world champion, but whatever. Vega's getting heat on Rocky with some beatdown spots. A challenge has been issued to Ahmed Johnson to take on the entire Nation of Domination in one night, and if he beats everybody, then the Nation will be no more. We're really just having some more boring heat spots by Vega here. Farouk is pretty great.
Also said he was going to kill Ahmed Johnson.
Yes, and he actually did a really good quick little rundown of him and Ahmed's like connection, and ended it with "Till death do us part." And I was like, oh, that was good.
It was pretty sweet. I want Farouk on commentary like every show.
Oh, I could definitely see Farouk on commentary, which is so funny because his main fucking character that he's known for in the WWE only goes, "Damn."
Yeah. That's all he needs to say.
It is. But so we get a small package by Rock to escape. He does a small package by Rock to escape a beatdown, but he's met with a big boot and continues the heat spots. Really digging the white guy and the Black Panther knockoff gimmick. Yeah, that was. I kind of forgot that there was a white guy in Nation Domination. I didn't really get that.
We don't have them for much longer. No,
we don't. Beautiful fisherman suplex by Rock, but the ref is distracted before Vega hits a spinning kick. We're on vice grip number 4 of Vega. Vega misses a high kick before Rock gets a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Vega does a really nice spot in the corner as Rock hits a back suplex and a kip up. Pre-Rock bottom, Brock bottom gets 2. Commentary doesn't even acknowledge that it was a finisher. I know.
It wasn't even his finish yet.
No, it wasn't, which I don't even know what his finish was at this time.
A smile?
a smile and a wave.
Yeah.
Backslide for 2. Rock is outside, and Crush hits him with the heart punch. Rock is literally fucking dead.
Yeah.
That is the worst finishing move on the face of the planet, and Vega wins via countout. 1 out of 5.
I give it a 1.5 out of 5, simply because the match that's about to happen next happens next.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to change mine to a 1. No, I'm not, because I'm not even going to tell you what I gave the next match. I will say, I did, even though Rock was still green here, he's so crisp in the ring already. And you can just tell how good he's going to be. I really enjoyed getting to see young Rocky here. But my biggest issue is that both of these guys have better matches.
Yeah. Savio and Crush argue about the count out after the match, which is kind of planting the seeds for what's going to happen eventually. I don't remember exactly when it happens, but there's a big reformation of the nation coming like decently soon.
Mm-hmm.
Where Savio and Crush are both going to leave, and Savio and Crush are, for some reason, going to start their own factions.
The Nation of Damnation.
So, if you're not familiar with Savio, we get Los Barricas, and with Crush, we get motorcycle dudes. I don't remember their names.
Nobody does.
I actually don't remember.
But yeah, they start beating down on Rocky, and then Ahmed Johnson comes out with a 2x4 to a pretty big pop.
Yeah.
I did think that was notable, and I do think Ahmed Johnson is one of those guys that is always going to be a case of what if kind of deal.
We'll get into what goes wrong with Ahmed in the next, like in the coming months.
Yeah, it's pretty quick from here on out before he's out the door. Backstage, Mero and Sable are being interviewed. Mero has been hurt, but he'll be back soon. Austin walks into a bathroom when you hear a noise, and Bulldog comes out with a tire iron. Owen is fucking hilarious here, like way funnier than he should have been, where he like comes out and does like the whole like you don't know what's going on. It just runs out like it's so like his just like facial and he's like in the actual background of the entire time, and so like Mero and Sable are still like just like standing there kind of talking. You see like him in the background like look at the camera and like look at the door and like look at the camera, and he's like and then he like opens the door a little bit, and then he just like looks back at the camera, and then he just takes off.
Yep. I loved this segment. It was so fucking good.
I did too, and the follow up to it here in a little bit was honestly even funnier.
Yeah.
And then I just want to point out that Hendrix was dressed like he's heading to like the Doug Dimmadome fundraiser against cancer or something. Like the bolo tie he had on, and I was like, "Huh? Are they in Texas? Oh no, they're in New York." Yeah, bolo tie for New York.
What are you doing, bud?
Who let this motherfucker dress himself? Up next, we have, I mean, honestly, one of the greatest matches of all time.
It was a fucking instant classic. This match has been replayed in my head. I can't stop thinking about it.
I would like to say, I typed 1,428 words of notes for this. 80 of those were about this match.
I have a few notes for this match.
Well, I'll go through my quick rendition, and then you can give whatever spicy details I miss.
Okay.
So we have Jesse James versus the Rockabilly, who is debuting. It's Billy Gunn. For anyone who doesn't know, this is Billy Gunn's debut as the Rockabilly, the protege of the Honky Tonk Man.
So, with that being said, I have a new rule for this fucking podcast.
Oh God.
If the Honky Tonk Man appears on my TV, it automatically deducts a full point from my rating for that match.
Oh, then I would have ended up with I would have gone negative by that logic.
I nearly went negative.
Oh my God, I fucking hate the Honky Tonk Man. Like, honestly, they shouldn't call it X-Pac Heat. They should call it Honky Tonk Heat.
Yeah.
because
I
it
actually
wasn't.
like watching X-Pac. Honky Tonk
Yeah,
Man is just miserable.
I can get through an X-Pac match. I want to kill myself when I have to fucking watch a Honky Tonk Man match. Like, and he didn't even wrestle, and I was miserable. But so Jesse James comes out of the ring and singing "With My Baby Tonight."
Yeah, when Jarrett left for WCW, did he just like take Jarrett's gimmick?
Yes,
Like,
he
what the fuck is
literally
going on?
just took his that's exactly how that went.
Yeah.
um, Also, apparently, Ken Shamrock is going to fight Mike Tyson. I don't know what that had to do with anything, but they mentioned it.
Yeah, it also doesn't happen.
That definitely doesn't happen.
So a couple things during, I'm not calling him fucking Rockabilly. A couple things during Billy Gunn's entrance. Number one, the week before this, Honky Tonk Man picked Billy Gunn to be his guy, his boyfriend, whatever it is. I don't know. Billy Gunn beat the fucking piss out of him.
Yeah, and then he's like, "I respect you, kid."
Yeah. Anyway, and then as Billy Gunn's coming to the ring, we get a fucking zoom in on this sign that just says "Girly Man." I was cry laughing.
Oh my god, I missed the days of good signs. Hey, before we get into this match, what was so morbid about the first match? We completely skipped past that.
No one in that match, no one that worked that match is even alive.
Oh, I did have that thought. I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
that was the exact thing. Yeah, no one in that match is alive anymore.
Yeah.
That was kind of sad. Honestly, that's. No, most of the other people that were on this card are alive. Is Honky Tonk Man alive?
I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. He is alive though.
So this is my notes for this. This match was bad.
Mm-hmm.
There was some dancing. That was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of clothesline that were also bad. Lots of stalling that was also bad. Crowd didn't give a shit. I didn't give a shit. Best part was James's entrance. Rockabilly is a terrible name. James wins with an inside cradle. 0.5 out of 5.
I also gave this a 0.5 out of 5.
Oh my god. That was one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's going against last week's Spring Stampede show.
Yeah, dude, it sucked. Here is what there's one thing in this match that I enjoyed. Jesse James hits a clothesline off the apron at one point.
It is a pretty nice clothesline.
And it was pretty sweet. That's it.
No, I'll
it's
give
the
you that.
Constant like Billy's stupid taunt that he's doing the whole fucking match.
Oh my god.
Jesse James's stupid fucking taunt that he's doing the whole fucking match. Honky Tonk Man is on my television screen. The match has only been going for like 4 minutes, and we get a double count spot.
Yep.
Billy Gunn hits a famouser for nothing. So we get back-to-back matches where, like, what would end up being these guys' finishers are just used as transitional moves. And Honky Tonk Man was on my television screen. This match fucking sucked. These gimmicks suck. Honky Tonk Man sucks. This match sucked. Ugh.
Yeah, this was where I felt like it was really obvious about, okay, there's this certain aspect of the backstage that is still clinging on to the old days of gimmicks, and I'm really glad that within the next year all that shit goes out the door, and then we end up getting the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah.
And the New Age Outlaws are fucking dope.
Yeah, that's what made this match so fucking weird, is that it's these guys with these terrible gimmicks that end up being, and regardless of how you feel about them as people, whatever it may be, these two end up being arguably a top 5 tag team in wrestling history.
Yep, I completely agree. At least for that time period, for sure.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. So, and we'll get to them before too long, and not too much longer after this, so we start getting some good shit from them. Yep. I just want to say, 27-year-old me would kill for this Undertaker door banner that they're selling.
Dude,
Dude, it was fucking
used
dope.
to have one of those when I was a kid.
No, God
Yes,
damn it!
yes.
I literally put in here if anyone has one is selling one to hit me up because I
I
would
wish
kill to have one.
I wish I could find it, but I used to have that exact door banner when I was a kid.
Oh, dude, no, that thing was dope as hell.
It was fucking sweet.
I sent Carson a Snapchat of it, and I was like, "Hey, can we get this?
You need to
Can we
find
put
this
it in the
right
room?"
now.
Like I was pretty hyped about it. Did I have a fever dream, or was Kevin Kelly legitimately pulling double duty on here and on WCW?
I think you're having a fever dream.
I swear to God, they at some point. I'm about to look. Hold on.
I don't think Kevin Kelly ever worked for WCW.
I'm trying to see if he was on that. No, he was there. Kevin Kelly interviewed Rocky Maivia. Wow, I wonder, is this the same Kevin Kelly?
There it was. Whoa. Okay, I don't know.
It's like I'm so curious now. Like, because
There
if he
is
was,
another
good for him.
There is another Kevin Kelly in WCW, or not in WCW, but just like in wrestling in general. I'm sure he was in WCW at one point.
Yeah.
That guy's fucking gimmick, Nails. Nails' name was Kevin Kelly.
Oh, okay. So
I think it was Nails.
no, this has got to be the same commentator, Kevin Kelly. Then, well, good for him. I was like, this guy's pulling double duty. Like that's I love Kevin Kelly.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problem with it. But so we get Stone Cold out here on the mic with the Kevin Kelly interviewing him. Says that Brett would have to kill him before he went and get in that ring. Call an ambulance, but not for me.
You put an ass in front of Hitman, and that's what I think of Bret Hart. What?
What?
I don't know. It's a Stone Cold promo.
It was great. No matter what, he can just say whatever the fuck he wants. He calls Stu Hart fat, which I thought was really funny.
You're fat. What?
You're fat.
Eating Dunkin' Donuts.
The lounge at Dunkin' Donuts for Slammy Award winners only.
You're not allowed in, Stu.
Monsoon was like, "Hey man, you're cool. You can take a break. You can go on last. Take her into Mankind. Get your fat asses out there."
What the fuck?
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how the entire interaction went.
That's verbatim.
The Hart Foundation says that Austin attacked them. Yeah, they're getting interviewed, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was in the bathroom, and Austin came in there and attacked me." And the interviewer was like, "You guys went in there after them," and they just kind of stop and they're like, "I don't think you remember how that went."
The whole time that Owen and Bulldog are cutting their promos, Brett is standing behind them, and he looks like he's on a different fucking planet.
Oh my god, yeah, he looks either, which is weird because I don't think Brett was a guy who was high out of his mind very often.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they're just so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like they for me are the exact kind of comedy that I like in pro wrestling.
Yes.
So up next we've got Undertaker versus Mankind for the WWF Championship.
We get a really sweet pre-match video package, which is so much better than the backstage promos that WCW does.
Oh, worlds better.
And this promo and this package is like still, it's kind of like, it's a little goofy, but it's still so much better than just like a regular backstage promo, which we still end up getting anyway.
Oh, of course you do, because you can't not have the ridiculous backstage promo. I wanted to like, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this here. This match is not a no DQ match.
No, it's not.
But it is.
It is.
But it's not.
But it isn't.
And I just want to say, like, I love, and WWE does not really do it anymore, but I love that, like, AEW and NJPW, when you've got like a world title match, the refs will just let some things go. And I think that's how it should be, because it makes it, to me, feel like it is more of a sport where, like, in the Super Bowl, the refs are going to let the aggressiveness go a little bit farther than they normally would because it's the fucking Super Bowl. And so, especially when you've got these two guys doing it, like, it just makes sense that is how their match should go. But yeah, just really, I appreciate the fact that it's not an ODQ match, but they let it fly. So we start off, Mankind is all over the dead man here, clothesline over the top, but Taker no-sells it, slams Mankind into the railing, then his back of his head is slammed into the railing. Into the crowd we go with Taker slugging him, slams Mankind head first into the rail over and over again. Great unprotected headshots that we all enjoy and know that have no long-term bearing on, your psyche.
No, Mankind, Mick Foley's totally fine. He definitely doesn't suffer in pain every day of his life.
He definitely is not a millionaire who spends his off time playing Santa Claus.
With that being said, I do want to touch on something really quick. Yes. And this is me. I'm gonna get a little sentimental. I'm gonna get a little soft here. Mankind is probably my favorite wrestler of all time, maybe behind Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he's not some...
I don't know that I knew that.
Huh?
I don't know that I knew that.
Well, it's the truth. And it's not that he's not some workhorse, and he's not like a great promo, but he is the definition of sacrificing his own body and well-being for the sake of entertaining. And whoever he works with, he makes them look like $1 million every fucking time. And with that being said, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I fucking love Mick Foley, and it will be very hard for me to say anything negative about a match that he's in.
I completely agree with you. He's one of those guys that truly gave his entire body for pro wrestling, and loved doing it.
Yeah.
And had some of the greatest matches we've ever seen. And like you said, he made everyone he wrestled look good. I mean, he is the shining example of how to sell like a superstar. So into the crowd we go with Taker slugging him, slams Mankind into the railing over and over again. We head back into the ring and we get old school, and it's much more of like the leaping clothesline version, which sick. I think it looks so good.
It was like a springboard clothesline.
Yeah, it's like he does the old school and then bounces and hits the clothesline.
Yeah.
You kind of like I don't think Taker gets enough credit for the fact of like how athletic of a big man he is. Like, especially when he starts doing that fucking tope over the top.
Yeah.
Like
like at that size, doing a springboard clothesline, that is incredible.
Mm-hmm. The only other guy that I've seen do it that makes it look good is Lance Archer.
Yeah.
Paul Bearer's on the apron now. Mankind gets the urn and nails him for a close 2. Running knee and chokes by Mankind. Taker comes back with some boxing, but Mankind hits a neck breaker. We then get a goddamn vice grip for the 5th vice grip of the entire show.
And then we get a rest in peace chant.
Yeah, what
the fuck?
I thought it was kind of odd, especially because of how well it worked for Taker to then begin his fire back up. And I almost wonder if it was like added in later on.
It was so weird, and we get it again.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of odd. But Taker fights back out during the rest in peace chants. We're back out on the floor. Taker rams Mankind into the steps. Mankind gets a chair and nails him as the ref is just letting it go. And then Mankind hits an elbow drop to the outside. The crowd barely even reacts to. Like, they hardly did any, which I guess like I guess isn't that shocking for a Mankind spot, but at the same time, like, it was a pretty big elbow drop.
Yeah.
And they really did like nothing.
It popped me. I don't know.
Yeah, it popped me. He's gouging Taker's eyes in the ring before he bites him, pulling pile driver for another 2, followed by another pile driver, followed by a scream.
Fucking awesome.
Taker's fighting back. Leaping clothesline by Taker as a reversal. Beats him down in the corner. Taker goes charging, but the ref gets pulled in front of him. Mankind applies the mandible claw, and Taker goes down as another ref runs in.
He puts the mandible claw on Taker, even though the ref literally just went down.
Yeah, like that was the one part of the match that I didn't really get. I was like, why would you take the ref down and then apply it? But whatever. Yeah. Another ref runs in. Chairs and steps are brought into the ring, but Taker nails a drop kick to send the steps into the face of Mankind. Mankind's head gets stuck in the ring ropes, and he rips the mask off. Taker drills him with the ring steps as Foley goes headfirst to the announce table. Choke slam, tombstone, 1, 2, 3. Taker retains. 3.5 out of 5.
4 out of 5. This match fucking ruled.
Honestly, I probably at another viewing would have, just depending on my mood, given it a 4 out of 5. I loved it. I really, really, really loved it.
This match was awesome. On the last episode, I said I remembered this pay-per-view like pretty well because I watched it a lot when I was a kid. I remembered this being a good match, but I do not remember it being this good. It was fucking awesome.
In there, I mean, there was very little rest breaks. Like from the moment it started, they were locked in and going. Yeah.
And then we get to the post-match stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets a 0.
So Taker goes after Paul Bearer and lights his fucking face on fire.
So, okay, you skipped past a few things. Taker chases Paul Bearer into the ring, and Mankind botches, maybe, ? I'm not sure, the flash paper spot twice, where they're trying to make it look like he misses Taker with it and gets Paul Bearer instead. So it gets really awkward, and then Taker just does it instead.
Yeah.
To Paul Bearer.
Then Taker just lights him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
It was so weird, but that can only mean one thing.
Something is about to happen, and that's what I wanted to talk about.
We are about to see the big red Republican machine of the mayor of Knox County, Glenn Jacobs.
So this is in April. We don't get Kane until October. So this is what plants the seeds for planting the seeds that would plant the seeds of planting the seeds to get Kane.
How the fuck did they hold that off that long?
Dude, I don't know, because this fucking company, there's no way they could pull that off now.
No, I mean, they blowed their load on everything.
Paul Bearer would say, "Your brother Kane's coming," on like week 1, and then week 2, Kane would be out there working a match against Jinder Mahal. Like, that's just how it would work.
This is a big red machine. He just likes to come out here and have fun and make up for his dead parents.
Kane is so moody.
Kane is just so grumpy.
Oh, god damn it. But yeah, this is what this plants the seeds for planting the seeds. I'm not going to go through that whole spiel again, but we get Kane from this. And it's such a cool build. It's so awesome. And when it happens, you don't even expect it to happen. It just happens.
No, it's such a good build. I can't wait till we get to that pay-per-view. Yep. I'm very excited for that. But with that being said, there is only one match left. The number one contender for the WWF Championship, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret motherfucking Hart.
Yeah.
So obviously this is coming off of their WrestleMania 13 match that Bret had won. Off the bat, I am never a fan of redoing WrestleMania matches at the next month's pay-per-view, especially if it was a good match.
Yeah, it's a little weird, especially because this match kind of flows the same way their Mania match did, just a little slower.
Yeah.
I don't hate this match, but
no, I don't either.
It's definitely not even close to as good as the Mania match.
No, it's not. So we get both men out. They trade punches starting out. Austin's getting the advantage. Big back elbow, multiple suplex. Bret decides that he's going to roll it to the floor, so Austin drops that deadly double X handle on him. Austin throws him into the steel steps, head first into the steps. Austin's back in the ring and making fun of Brett. Comes back out and whips Brett back first into the steps. Brawling into the aisle as Austin tosses him into the crowd and he jumps off the railing onto Brett. Back into the aisle. We're back in the ring at this point. Austin gets his elbows off the middle rope. Brett rolls to the floor and Austin comes back out. They kind of roll around out there for a little bit and Brett comes back in with a chair, but Austin punches him before he could use it. He then grabs the chair. Earl Hebner takes it. Brett drop kicks the back of Austin and knocks down Hebner at this point. And then he grabs a chair and uses the edge of it to drill the left knee of Austin. And this kind of started the knee work for Brett, which I did enjoy. I think focusing on a limb throughout a match can be very, very boring. But I like it whenever Brett does it.
Especially when it's building off him already hurting Austin's knee at Mania.
Exactly. So yeah, I enjoy whenever Brett plays this game. And then he takes 5 shots at the knee with the chair. And then Austin is back up. Brett kicks the knee again, splash onto the knee, wraps the edge of the knee around the apron. Austin's trying to fight back before Brett rakes the eyes, goes to the ring post and hits one of my favorite spots, which is the ring post figure 4. Yes. I think it looks so good.
It's so sweet. It looks
so painful. Brett holds on to it for a hot minute.
Oh, yeah.
And before Hebner finally forces him to break it, Brett smashes the chair onto the knee 3 more times. Again, Hebner's just letting it go. He starts pulling on the leg and stretching it. Austin fights back with a clothesline, some elbow drops. He picks Brett up, and so Brett just kicks him in the knee and knocks him back down. Brett works on the knee more, ripping the brace off. Another splash, and another one. Austin's outside, and Brett follows, kicking at the knee again. He grabs him by the leg, and Hebner can't see it, and Brett punches him in the nuts, like square in the fucking dick. We're back in the ring, though. Austin gets a very blatant low blow. The ref did nothing again.
Okay, so yeah, this is where I want to point something out because it's my biggest issue with this match, and it's why I gave it a kind of a weird rating. Earl Hebner has now watched Bret Hart hit Austin with the chair so many times, and now he's just seen Austin low blow Bret right in front of him.
Yep.
And that's all I'm going to say for now.
Yep. Austin is pulling off his ring tape, then he chokes Bret with it. We're in the middle of a rope where the elbow misses. He stumbles, still selling the knee. Austin's on the apron. Bret comes at him. Austin drapes his head over the top rope in a stun gun kind of move. Austin tries suplex to the floor, but Bret counters, suplexing Austin back in the middle. Figure 4 for Bret. Gets 2. Austin tries to fight out of it. Turns over, putting the pressure onto Bret, and then he gets the ropes. Austin argues with Hebner. Bret sneaks up from behind, kicking the back of the knee. Goes for the ring post figure 4 again, but Austin stops it. Austin backdrops Bret on the floor into the crowd. Tosses him back onto the floor, and then drops him neck first onto the railing. Off the apron, Austin gets a clothesline, and he limps the entire time. We're back in the ring with a whip across, and Bret takes his nice sternum first bunt into the turnbuckle. Austin mounts him with punches, covers for 2. Back up, Bret gets a shoulder block into the ropes, duck by Austin, kick to the gut. Pile driver attempt is missed. Austin's leg buckles, so he just falls. His leg is hurt, and while Bret is back up, his leg is hurt while Bret is back up. You don't see a lot of guys really being able to pull off the whole missing a spot thing now. It's a very hard thing to do, and Austin did it very, very, very well there. More working over of the left knee. Hebner forces Bret to back off. He comes back in, but Austin picks him up and drops him face first into the turnbuckle. Stunner is blocked. Fighting in the corner, Bret mule kicks him in the groin. Ref completely. I have ref completely didn't see it, so I'm not sure if I was trying to say ref completely missed it or ref didn't see it.
He was right there, he saw it happen. It's just another time where he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yep. Sharpshooter attempted by Bret. Austin grabs the knee brace and smacks Bret in the face with it. He puts the sharpshooter on Bret now, and Hebner's ready to ring the bell. Bulldog and Owen come in. Austin breaks the hold to knock them down. Refs come down to get rid of Bulldog and Owen again. Austin gets a sharpshooter. Crowd is going nuts. Bulldog comes in with a chair to the back of Austin, and Hebner finally decides that's enough to signal for the DQ. Match is a DQ at 20 minutes, 12 seconds. Steve Austin is your winner. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. Same as the previous match. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was very, 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 very similar to the Mania match, except slower.
I also gave this a 3.5 out of 5. And just like the last match, I don't mind the ref not being so strict about like DQs and shit. But don't ignore blatant DQ spots when the match is going to end in a DQ.
Yeah, and I tried to reason it with like, okay, well, if it's just happening between the two of them, at least it's controlled. Whereas if these other two are coming in, then it gets a little bit more chaotic. But at the same time, yeah, it's if I don't know. Don't let DQs get done if you're gonna end the match in a DQ.
Yeah.
And if you are gonna end the match in a DQ, it needs to be something so much more blatant and crazy that you have a reason to stop it at that point. Like just getting smacked with the chair by someone else. Like, I'm sorry, that just doesn't really. It just doesn't really seem like it's worth it after you've let these guys sit there and beat the shit out of each other with chairs, go out and have way over 10 counts outside the ring. But again, I still enjoyed the match. I thought it was a fine main event. I think I probably would have preferred if Taker and Mankind had main evented.
I agree, especially when the show is called Revenge of the Taker.
Yeah, I didn't really. I guess that was my biggest issues. I didn't really. Austin was fine whenever they were like, "We're gonna let you go on last, bud." Like, it just didn't really. Like, I did was it like the whole like, oh, let's send the boys home, let's send everyone home happy philosophy? But at the same time, like, I don't think people would have been unhappy with a Taker win. Like, I don't, so I just don't see that being good enough logic here. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely felt like it could have been booked a little bit better. But at the end of the day, I still really enjoyed it, and it was 1,000 times better than Spring Stampede '97.
Oh yeah, dude, this fucking show shits all over Spring Stampede '97. It's not even fucking close.
Like, at all.
I don't remember what I ended up giving Spring Stampede, but I gave this a 3 out of 5.
That's what I gave it. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was a perfectly acceptable show. The last two matches for me are both worth watching, especially the Mankind Taker match.
Oh yeah.
Now really looking back on it, like, I would probably go closer to a 4 out of 5 for that than a 3.5 out of 5, just because it definitely was better than the Austin and Brett match.
Yeah. I thought the opening match, Taker, Mankind, Brett, and Austin, those are all great matches. Rocky Maivia is just really boring right now, and that whole match was completely just overshadowed by the Nation and Ahmed Johnson feud anyway.
Yeah.
And Honky Tonk Man is a curse, and he should just be erased from all wrestling events so I can enjoy them more thoroughly.
Yes, he should be. But what I will say, at the end of the day, the thing that WWF did at the time that WCW was not doing was that every match had a story going into it, and you knew where the story was going after the end of every match.
Yep.
You knew what the next logical step for the story was, and I appreciate that. That keeps me interested. And a 5-match pay-per-view coming in at 2 hours.
Oh,
that's perfect. I can take detailed notes for 5 matches for 2 hours.
It was so easy to digest. It never lost my interest. I don't think I even looked at my phone for longer than maybe like 20 seconds at any point during my watch of this.
No.
Like, it was thorough. Even the boring matches, like, I was still here. I wasn't disinterested. They were just boring.
Well, and especially when I saw that the one match that I was dreading, Jesse James and Rockafucker, was only 6 minutes long. I was like, okay, I can deal with that for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Not whenever you're talking about, I don't know, let's say, where's my favorite match from last week? Public Enemy versus Mongo and Double J. Or, the who is the strap match that we watched?
That was Buff Bagwell and I don't fucking even remember his name now.
Just miserable. Just absolutely fucking miserable.
Awful.
There was none of that with this. Like, it was like, okay, that match sucked, but it came in and it went. It was fine. No women's matches.
No, and that's a thing. Women's wrestling's in a really, 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 really weird spot in WWF right now.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but not having any women's matches is better than where the fucking division goes very soon.
Yeah, no, because here soon we're going to be getting into puppies territory.
Yep, it's gonna get weird.
Yeah, but no, overall though, still a really enjoyable show, and it plants a lot of seeds for what is to come, and that keeps it fresh.
Yeah,
keeps it exciting.
Yep. So yeah, this show is miles better than Spring Stampede. Our next episode, I almost said next week, but our next episode, which will be like a few days after this one, is going to be In Your House, Cold Day in Hell. I don't have that card pulled up right now, but we'll fucking talk about it when we get there. Yeah.
I can real quick just do a quick little run through of the In Your House Cold Day in Hell card. So main event, we get Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ken Shamrock versus Vader, Nation of Domination versus Ahmed Johnson in a gauntlet match, Mankind versus Rocky Maivia, Triple H versus Flash Funk. Damn, this is a good card.
It is a really good card.
I'm actually, and looking at it, there's only one match over 15 minutes. That's the main event.
Yep.
It's another, again, a 5-match card that I'm genuinely interested in each of those matches. Who was... Oh, Flash Funk is Too Cold Scorpio. I was like, what? Who's Flash Funk? I know that name. Wow, I'm actually really excited to watch this now. I might even get off here and go watch this right now.
That's probably what I'm going to do, is watch it like as soon as we end this call.
Yeah, no, this is a dope card. I'm excited to do this one.
Yeah, so we get back-to-back WWF shows, and then we go back to WCW for Slamboree in 97.
So just to, set the tone really quick, I do think it would be worth at least hearing what the Slamboree card is, to know what we have to look forward to. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4 of which are over 15 minutes.
Oh.
We've got Lord Steven Regal versus Ultimo Dragon, Medusa versus Luna Vachon, Rey Mysterio versus Yuji Yasiraka. I'm not sure who Yuji Yasiraka is.
You'll remember him when you watch it.
Okay, cool. Glacier versus Mortis again.
Not again, dude. Fuck.
Yep. Dean Malenko versus Jeff Jarrett. Meng versus Chris Benoit. Steiner Brothers versus Conan and Hugh Morris. Steve McMichael, Reggie White, and then Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and Kevin Green defeating Kevin Nash, Scott Hall in 6. Kevin Nash.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I mean, it actually doesn't sound like a terrible card. Doesn't sound fantastic, but it does sound like there's going to be some dragging ones, especially when you look at that the Steve McMichael and Reggie White match is 15 minutes.
Oh Jesus Christ! Well, let's enjoy the rest of this week because we get another WWF show this week, and then we go to hell.
Right back again, but no, fun show, and definitely a lot better than last week's. So. Our last show. So we will be back in a couple of days, and then we'll be back on your regularly scheduled programming.
Also, before we end this, I just clicked over to the recording, and I saw the time that we're at, which is including the 10 minutes Alex and I spent talking before we started, and then giving a little pulling back the curtain a little bit, we took like a 10-15 minute break in between at one point. We're not even in an hour and a half yet, which I guess should lead me to say that these In Your House episodes are probably going to be significantly shorter than any other episodes that we do, simply because most of these In Your House cards are 5-6 matches and maybe 2 hours long.
Yep. Yeah, I can't spend 2 hours talking about a 2 hour show.
Yeah, like it's impossible to do.
But no, yeah, I enjoy these shorter shows. They're fun, and I think they just break things up really nicely.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. Cold Day in Hell. That'll be, I don't know, whenever you hear this episode, it'll probably be 2-3 days later. You'll get Cold Day in Hell, and then we should be back on schedule.
Yep.
But yeah, fuck it, we're done. This was In Your House, Revenge of the Taker. Cold Day in Hell again. It's in a few days, and yeah, until next time, we'll see you.
Peace.